Excitement surged through three divers, coursing like a current through the diving boat as it sliced through the pristine waters of South Australia during the scorching summer of 1997. The sun gilded the sky, its warmth caressing their skin, and the sea breeze carried a briny vigor that invigorated the senses. The ocean, a crystal-clear expanse, beckoned with the promise of untold wonders below its surface. Keith Anderson, Marcus Turner, and Evan Foster were embarking on a scuba diving escapade of a lifetime led by Raymond Archer, a seasoned diving instructor. The exhilaration was palpable, mingling with a hint of apprehension as they neared the dive site. The group prepared for their plunge as the boat gently anchored over the dive spot. Gears were meticulously checked and secured, each strap and buckle a lifeline in the watery depths below. The rhythmic hiss of air tanks being filled reverberated, adding to the growing sense of anticipation. Raymond, their diving maestro, gathered them close, his voice unwavering and reassuring, infused with contagious enthusiasm. He imparted the final instructions, underscoring safety and the marvels they were on the brink of witnessing. His expertise and poise eased some of the pre-dive jitters. The moment of reckoning arrived. The trio stood at the boat's edge, the tangy sea air prickling his cheeks. With a deep breath and an adrenaline-fueled surge of excitement, they plunged into the ocean's welcoming embrace. The initial shock of the cool water subsided, replaced by a tranquil feeling as he descended further. The underwater world unfurled before their eyes in a dazzling array of colors and life. Beautiful corals swayed gently, exhibiting hues from soft pinks to vibrant oranges. Shoals of fish darted around, painting the water with flashes of silver and gold. Keith delved into the depth and saw how the marine life, diverse and intricate, seemed to coexist in harmony, an underwater ballet of nature. The gentle sway of the seaweed, the darting fish, and the mesmerizing interplay of light through the water left him breathless. In this serene underwater realm, he swam alongside a magnificent seawall. The colors were breathtaking, shades of blue and green merging seamlessly. It was a peaceful and surreal experience, a dance of aquatic life in a world unknown to many. As Keith continued his swim along the colossal seawall, an unexpected and alarming sight suddenly shattered the tranquil ambience. The gentle waves were disrupted by frenetic movements that caught Marcus's eye. Intrigued yet cautious, he turned to investigate, and his heart skipped a beat as he bore witness to a bone-chilling scene. In the expansive ocean were two bull sharks, formidable in size and power. They were making a beeline for his friends. Their frantic movements sent tremors through the water as they desperately propelled themselves towards the surface. The atmosphere turned taut and chaotic as fear clutched the group, the reality of their predicament sinking in. Marcus was terror-stricken as one of the sharks lunged and clamped onto his torso. The shark ruthlessly attacked Marcus, biting his head off with grotesque savagery. As he helplessly observed Marcus's lifeless form descend, Raymond's heart sank further upon realizing that another diver, Evan, was suffering a similar fate. The second bull shark wasted no time in its relentless pursuit. It swiftly sank its teeth around Evan's neck and shoulders, extinguishing his life ruthlessly. Keith's instincts kicked in, fueled by a surge of adrenaline. With urgency, he propelled himself through the water, heading for the surface. Breaking through the surface, his gasps for air mixed with the dread still clutching him. Raymond was alerted to the dire situation on the boat and acted swiftly. He hurled a buoy attached to ropes into the water, hoping to provide a lifeline to Keith. The buoy became his lifeline, a symbol of hope amidst the nightmarish events that had just unfolded. Keith clung to the flotation device, finding a semblance of safety. The water became a battleground of wills, with Keith yearning for safety and Raymond determined to rescue him. But suddenly, as Keith neared the boat, one of the sharks shot out of the water like a torpedo, targeting Keith with terrifying precision. The air turned thick with tension as the monstrous predator lunged at him, its movements swift and savage. The immense jaws of the bull shark clamped down on Keith's neck and torso, its teeth sharp as razors, sinking deep into flesh and bone. He was mercilessly dragged back into the unforgiving depths of the ocean. The scene unfolded as a horrifying display of nature's brutality, leaving Raymond with shock and dread. A piercing scream tore through the air, escaping Raymond's lips and echoing in the vast expanse of the sea. He felt frozen, his body refusing to respond as fear held him in a vice-like grip. Amidst the chaotic scene on the boat, Raymond was overwhelmed by a profound sense of helplessness. The frantic activity and the anguished cries for help seemed distant, drowned out by the immense weight of the situation. Raymond urgently called for emergency assistance, but the grim reality loomed. It was already too late. The horrifying truth settled in as they learned that the two bull sharks had decapitated 3 of his friends. Surviving this harrowing incident was a testament to his resilience, but it did little to ease the emotional scars and trauma that would forever haunt him. The indescribable loss and the horrors he had witnessed would remain a part of him, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the friends he had lost that fateful day. Amidst the shimmering waters of the Pacific Ocean off the coast of California, a tale of man versus nature was about to unfold in the blistering summer of 2005. John Hastings, a 45-year-old seasoned boating enthusiast, was on a solo expedition that day. He had spent most of his life on the water, where he found tranquility and adventure. John was a man of the sea, weathered by the sun and the salt, his skin etched with the marks of countless voyages. He had a deep love for the ocean, and he knew its ways like an old friend. The sea was his sanctuary and playground where he felt truly alive. On this particular day, the sky was a canvas of blue, and the sun blazed overhead, casting a golden hue upon the waves. John's boat, christened Mariner's Roost, was sturdy, weathered by time and countless journeys across the ocean's expanse. The ship had a story of its own, a tale woven through its wooden hull and the creaks in its frame. John felt a sense of euphoria as the boat cut through the waves, slicing the ocean's surface with rhythmic grace. The wind tousled his salt and pepper hair, and the familiar scent of the sea filled his lungs. It was a perfect day for a maritime adventure, or so he thought. But nature, in all its beauty, could be unforgiving. Unbeknownst to John, a great white shark prowled beneath the waves, a silent predator in its domain. Its massive form glided stealthily through the depths, its black eyes scanning for potential prey. The great white was a force to be reckoned with, a creature of awe and terror. It was a living relic of an ancient era, a true apex predator. Its robust body, adorned with previous battle scars, exuded grace and menace. Today, hunger drove it closer to the surface, to a fateful encounter with John Hastings. As the boat ventured deeper into the heart of the ocean, the dappled play of clouds on the water's surface created a captivating interplay of light and shadow. John, an experienced sailor with years spent at sea, remained acutely attuned to the nuances of his environment. He sensed a change in the air, a subtle shift in the ocean's temperament, a silent forewarning carried on the breeze. This day would be etched into his memory, not just as another maritime adventure, but as a battle for survival against one of the ocean's most formidable creatures. The encounter with the great white shark was on the horizon, an impending clash that would test John's mettle and the primal instincts that lay dormant within him. Amid the vast ocean, the great white shark surged ferociously toward John's boat. Its dark eyes were fixed on the ship, its hunger propelling it forward. Blissfully unaware of the approaching danger, John scanned the horizon for signs of marine life. The first indication of the impending battle was a sudden jolt that rocked the boat. The impact shook John, who stumbled but quickly regained his balance. Confusion and concern were etched across his face as he peered over the edge, trying to fathom what had just occurred. Then, with terrifying force, the great white lunged at the boat again, aiming for the lower hull. Its gnashing teeth tore through the wood, sending splinters flying. Adrenaline surging through his veins, John scrambled to grab anything that could serve as a makeshift weapon. He knew he was in a fight for his life. The next attack came from below. The shark surged from the depths, aiming directly at John's leg. It clamped its razor-sharp teeth around his calf, piercing deep into muscle and bone. Pain seared through John's body, but he fought to keep his wits about him. With a primal yell, he struck the shark's snout with a makeshift oar, momentarily startling the beast. The battle was now in full swing. John grappled with the relentless predator, summoning every ounce of strength to free himself from its deadly grip. In a desperate struggle, he managed to land several blows to the shark's head, forcing it to release its hold. Blood mingled with the salt water, painting a dreadful picture. However, the great white was not one to retreat quickly. The taste of blood fueled its aggression. It lunged again, this time targeting the boat's side. Driven by a surge of survival instinct, John thrust the oar into the shark's gaping maw. The oar jammed between its teeth, temporarily disabling its attack. With a burst of energy, John took advantage of the momentary respite. He pulled himself onto the boat, his leg throbbing from the shark's initial assault. Adrenaline coursed through him as he surveyed the dire situation. The ship was severely damaged, and the great white circled, biding its time for another attack. Fighting against the pain and the damage to the boat, John knew he had to act fast. He grabbed a flare gun, aiming it at the circling shark. The flare shot into the sky, illuminating the ocean in a fiery glow. Taking advantage of this opportunity, John mustered his remaining strength to start the engine. With a roar, the engine sputtered to life. John steered the damaged vessel away, leaving behind the relentless predator. The great white circled once more, sizing up its prey. But the engine's growl and the fading light of the flare made it think twice. Slowly, reluctantly, the shark disappeared into the depths, its presence fading like a distant nightmare. Bruised and battered, John skillfully navigated his damaged boat toward the nearest shoreline. The pain in his leg was excruciating, with every movement sending sharp, shooting signals of agony. Yet his eyes showed a steely determination, a will to survive, and a determination to get help. As he approached the shore, fellow boaters spotted his distressed vessel and rushed to his aid. They helped him dock, calling for an ambulance immediately. John was swiftly transported to the nearest hospital, where a team of doctors and nurses battled against time to save his life and assess the extent of his injuries. The grim reality was harsh. John had lost a significant portion of his leg in the brutal encounter. The shark's bite had been severe, tearing through muscle and sinew, leaving irreparable damage. The medical team worked tirelessly to stabilize him, addressing the massive blood loss and stabilizing his condition. The following surgery was lengthy and grueling, leaving John physically and emotionally drained. His resilience during the operation was nothing short of remarkable. The medical team was forced to amputate a section of his leg, a necessary step for his survival and future rehabilitation. The road to recovery would be long and challenging, but John was determined to reclaim his life. Days turned into weeks as John adapted to life with a prosthetic limb. The support from his family, friends, and the local community bolstered his spirits. Physical therapy became a part of his routine, a grueling yet necessary ordeal to regain mobility and strength. During his recovery, John had time to reflect on the attack. The question of why the shark had targeted him haunted his thoughts. Research and discussions with marine experts shed light on the incident. The great white shark had likely mistaken his boat for prey due to the vibrations it produced, and the attack on him resulted from the predator's instinctual response. Despite the physical and emotional challenges, John found solace in sharing his story. The experience transformed him. He had faced the ocean's wrath and lived to tell the tale, using his story to inspire and educate others. The harrowing encounter had left scars, but it had also forged a deeper connection with the ocean and a determination to protect its inhabitants. As John looked back on that fateful day, he realized that the shark's attack had not defined him. It had redefined his purpose. He had found strength in adversity and had become a living testament to the power of survival and the human capacity to turn tragedy into triumph. Miguel Costa, a passionate engineer and an avid surfer, lived in the vibrant coastal town of Peniche, Portugal, where the Atlantic Ocean paints the horizon with its brilliant hues. At 32 years old, Miguel was deeply connected to the waves and engineering mechanisms. He spent his weekdays designing innovative solutions and his weekends riding the waves, finding solace in the ocean's embrace. His love for surfing started in his teenage years and blossomed into a lifelong passion. The thrill of catching the perfect wave, the adrenaline rush as he carved through the water, was a dance of freedom and exhilaration for him. In the summer of 2002, Miguel, accompanied by his close-knit group of fellow surf enthusiasts, planned an adventurous surf trip in the vibrant coastal town of Jeffreys Bay, South Africa, where the Indian Ocean roared with its mighty waves. They were chasing the perfect wave that would test their skills, and fill their souls with the pure joy of surfing. One bright morning, the group set out to conquer the waves at one of the renowned surf spots in the area. The waves were promising, their crests invitingly high and mighty. As the sun began its ascent, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, Miguel and his friends waxed their boards, their excitement palpable. With his heart racing with anticipation, Miguel paddled into the open ocean, the waves calling to him like an old friend. The salty breeze filled his lungs as he positioned himself, waiting for that perfect wave. The wave swelled, and the thrill of the chase coursed through his veins. In these waters, the harmony of nature took an unexpected turn. Unbeknownst to Miguel and his friends, a powerful predator prowled the depths. A tiger shark, known for its formidable strength and aggression, had ventured closer to the shore in search of prey. The surfers, lost in the dance with the waves, didn't detect the approaching danger. Miguel's excitement surged as he spotted the perfect wave approaching, which seemed tailor-made for an exhilarating ride. He paddled fervently, positioning himself for the passage of a lifetime. As the wave lifted him, Miguel felt an indescribable surge of energy. He rose to his feet, the wave propelling him forward. But just as the tide began to carry him, the tranquil scene turned into a heart-stopping encounter. The tiger shark, its dorsal fin slicing through the water's surface, charged towards Miguel with lightning speed, ready to assert its dominion in this domain shared by both man and beast. The moment was surreal as Miguel glided along the wave's crest, suspended between the ethereal beauty of the ocean and the impending danger beneath him. The tiger shark's approach was swift and unrelenting, driven by primal instincts honed over millennia. As Miguel rode the wave, he suddenly felt a powerful force beneath him, a jolt that sent shivers down his spine. With its immense strength, the shark had clamped its jaws onto the tail of Miguel's surfboard. In seconds, the tranquil ride turned into a chaotic struggle for survival. Miguel's heart raced as he fought to maintain balance on the now turbulent wave. With every thrash of its colossal body, the shark's immense power threatened to pull him under. He could feel the vibrations of the beast's movements reverberating through the board and into his trembling limbs. Desperation fueled Miguel's actions. With adrenaline coursing through his veins, he used every ounce of his strength to maintain his position on the board. His fellow surfers, watching in shock from a distance, shouted words of encouragement and alarm. The battle between man and shark continued. A relentless tug-of-war played out on the surface of the unforgiving ocean. Miguel's surfboard, a fragile barrier between him and the apex predator, seemed inadequate in the face of such primal ferocity. In those harrowing moments, Miguel's survival instincts kicked in. He knew that any misstep could mean the difference between life and death. With trembling hands, he reached for a nearby wave crest to stabilize himself as he attempted to free his board from the shark's grip. The shark, however, was unyielding, its mighty jaws firmly locked onto the board. The struggle continued as a primal contest between a determined surfer and an ancient predator. As Miguel's strength waned and fatigue set in, the situation grew increasingly dire. The shark's persistence was unmatched, and Miguel could feel his grip on the board slipping. In that critical moment, when hope seemed lost, a sudden and unexpected turn of events would change the course of this harrowing encounter. With a sudden surge of might, the tiger shark ripped the surfboard from Miguel's grasp. In the chaos, the shark lunged and clamped its razor-sharp teeth onto Miguel's arm. The searing pain was incomprehensible, and fear gripped him like a vice. Miguel's adrenaline-fueled survival instincts roared to life. He thrashed and fought with every bit of strength he possessed. The pain was excruciating, but he knew he had to act. In a desperate bid to escape the gnashing teeth, Miguel summoned a burst of strength and delivered a series of swift, forceful punches to the shark's snout. The predator momentarily released its grip, affording Miguel a fraction of a second to break free. Ignoring the searing pain radiating from his injured arm, Miguel propelled himself toward the surface with sheer adrenaline and survival instinct. Blood clouded the water around him, a grim testament to the brutality of the encounter. Above the surface, his fellow surfers and the boat crew were in shock and panic. They swiftly moved into action, pulling Miguel out of the water and onto the boat. The boat roared to life, speeding towards the shore, racing against time to get Miguel medical help. Miguel fought to stay conscious, battling the pain and the terror that threatened to consume him. The minutes felt like an eternity as they raced towards the shore, his life balanced. Upon reaching the shore, an ambulance was waiting to rush Miguel to the hospital. The medical team worked tirelessly to stabilize him, tending to the grievous injuries he had sustained. Miguel had lost a significant portion of his arm to the vicious attack, and the road to recovery would be long and arduous. As Miguel lay on the hospital bed, coming to terms with the trauma of the experience, he knew that his life had changed forever. Once a place of joy and solace, the ocean now holds a darker, more primal reality. He was left with physical and emotional scars, a constant reminder of the day he faced nature's wrath and emerged, scarred but alive from the jaws of a tiger shark.